a little bit hungry, then she probably wouldn't fly for us today. So the only way we can get them to fly is if they're hungry. If she was full, she would probably just fly up into a tree and wait there until she's hungry enough to come back to us. So I'm feeding her just enough to keep her full for the night, and then we'll fly her and we'll feed her again the next morning. And from all the way down there, Yuma can see this piece of meat that I'm dangling here. If I didn't have any meat for her, she probably wouldn't come back to me. These birds are actually fairly clean, so they're not going to leave anything behind because it'll attract flies. And sometimes if they have a piece of meat left on their beak, they'll just give their head a quick shake. And we'd like to joke that's the most dangerous part of our job, because while I'm up here talking away, if Yuma decides to shake her head while she's on my hand, that meat will end up on my face and sometimes in my mouth. So all of us that work here have definitely tasted some raw chicken. So notice how close to the ground Yuma's flying. She's riding on a cushion of air called the boundary layer, and that just makes it easier for her to soar, so she doesn't have to flap her wings as much. And another thing, when she comes in for a landing, look at how wide her tail feathers are. And that just acts like a brake on a car, so it helps to slow down so that when she hits my glove, she's not going to fly off into the audience.
So this is Lincoln, and he's an adult bald eagle. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually fly him here, give him some exercise, and get him going back and forth a few times. And hopefully give him some exercise, and then we'll just tell some stories about him and bald eagles. And then if anybody has any questions as we go along, just to make it a little more interesting and hopefully entertaining, we'll try our best to make that happen. So hopefully what I'm going to try to do is get him flying out to this post here on the left. And we've got just a slight breeze here coming from the south, and he likes to kind of fly into the wind, so this is actually a better way for him to come in and fly in like this. Because they're kind of like airplanes, where when they take off and land, it really helps them if they face into the wind and they get that natural lift under their wings, and it makes their flying and landing that much more easy and effortless. So you can just stand here. Here's your food. Just a little bit. Over there. Yeah. And so this Carly's one of our summer students. This is her last day, so we thought we'd let her handle this eagle for the first time today. She hasn't smiled like that all summer. Yeah, just put your hand up higher, 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 higher. Yeah. And this is one of the friendly eagles we have. Yeah, and just let him step on the post.
Oopsies. Sorry, that's my fault, eh?
So this is one of the really, really nice friendly eagles we have. And we've got some that even for myself, I've been doing this 20 or 30 years, closer to 30. And some of the birds we have are just a little bit downright dangerous birds, because some of the other birds we have are a little bit on the nasty side. And so basically, the reason these birds fly back to us is just because they've got a little bit of an edge on their appetite. So it's kind of like running is for us, you know. Flying is hard work for these birds. We romanticize it, you know, because it's something we'd really like to do. But for them, it's hard work, and this is how they get their exercise. And they don't do it unless there's a compelling reason. Just like with us, when we have to go running. Yeah, just come over here. So,
here he comes.
You see, he gobbles down that food pretty fast, and Carla will just get him to open his wings here a little bit. You can see how beautiful feathered he is, and that's why we love to keep these birds tethered on these perches, is because the beauty of it is we get them outside of cages. Right, just take around this way and then get over here. Yeah, lift them up higher. So the beauty of it is we can take them out of a cage, and sometimes a cage can really be quite damaging to the bird's feathers. You know, they can break the tips on their feathers, their face around their beak can be pretty soft, and sometimes they can even injure their face flying into wire mesh. Okay.
Where's that? Yeah.
You don't have any bird phobias, right?
No. No bird. Here it comes.
And so this bird, he's totally reliable. Very, very, very safe to fly here. You can walk out that post out there. Try to get him going out here a little bit. We'll just do him a couple more times here, and then we'll take him up and give him a nice shower. So you can see how he's panting now, and he's got his wings out a little bit. And I'll explain little things about his body language. So it's just like if we're kind of on a hot day, and you know how we have our arms out from our body, and we sort of try to get a little air going under our arms, and that's what he's actually doing with his wings when his wings came down. Might be a little trickier for him. One more time here. Let's get it one more time, and then we'll go up and give him a shower. Now, you know when I'm standing here, and they got these great big beaks and talons. Yeah, we'll get them over. Just walk over that way if you can. With all these beaks and talons, they look pretty dangerous. That's okay. This will be the last time we bring him in. And the thing I'm always most nervous about is which way the bum is pointing, right? Because as a kid, to put it into kids, terms little kids can really identify with, these birds are not potty trained, right? And you might have heard this from some of our staff before, but when an eagle goes to the bathroom, sometimes it can shoot out 8 or 10 feet sometimes. So we always make sure, we're trying to always be careful which way their bum is pointing. So if any of the kids are misbehaved, we can get a special request from the parents to hold them in your direction a little bit longer, right? So this will be the last time we bring him in here. And that'll be a little bit of a hot day here for him today. There we go. Okay. And so when we feed these birds, I know it doesn't look very appetizing to us, but it's whatever is good for these birds, okay? And they are meat eaters. So another thing, some of the times what we do is we also feed them things like raw beef, dead mice. I pick up dead rabbits off the road. When we first started doing this many years ago, of course, there was lots of gossip in our local community when people saw me picking up dead rabbits, right? So the rumors were around Coaldale for many years, don't come over to our house for dinner, right? Because back in those days, we did not have a separate freezer for the bird food, okay? It was for a few minutes. It's not always as glamorous as this. All right, good? Okay.
Touch your head this time?
Take pictures here. Just facing just a little bit there. Yeah, it's not as hot. Okay, and I'll get him to open his wings
Let's
here.
hope that they turn out, at least for sure one day.
All set?
2 for sure of each. I kept snapping.
Look at the camera, lift up your chin there, look at the camera. How's that? That?
It's a little softer than those long keys.
Okay.